Hi everyone, welcome to Sattui's Wine of the Month Club cooking video for September. Today we'll be making butter basted scallops with a cauliflower puree, Beurre Noisette, which is just a fancy word for brown butter, and we'll be pairing that with our 2021 Los Carneros Sattui Chardonnay. Let's give it a taste. It's been aged for 9 months in French oak. It's going to have a nice acidity and should pair very well with our butter basted scallops. Let's get to cooking. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to break down some cauliflower. We have our head right here. What we're going to do is we're going to flip it over on the back. We're going to trim the root stem, and then we're just going to come in with a controlled hand, and we're going to go towards the center. And rather than really move the knife, we're just going to rotate our food around. So very carefully and very controlled, we're just going to core out the center. Very controlled, not really moving the knife, just moving the mise. This will help keep our hands safe. Pop it right out. All right. Now from here, we're going to floret it. We have access to all the stems. We're just going to kind of go through the center, bring it down, pull it apart. Okay. And we're just going to repeat that action. So we find our floret, come on in, bring the knife down, and really what we want are just nice, even-sized florets, about 1 inch, roughly. And then we're just looking for nice little pieces like this. We're going to go into our sauce pot, and we're going to go until we get through all of our cauliflower. So normally I do about a head, but you just want to break it up so you get a nice quick cook on the cauliflower. Nice good chunks. We have our cauliflower. We're going to hit with our cream. Our water. We're ready to go onto the stove top. We just are missing one little thing. We like to call it cartouche. So our cartouche, for this instance, we're using what's called a half sheet of parchment paper. You can use wax paper at home. What I like to do is fold it in half. It's just like making a snowflake. We're gonna bundle it up. So we fold it in half, fold it in a quarter. We're gonna fold again, quarter to quarter. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take it and we're gonna point the corner to the very center of the pot. From here, we know we're gonna cut. So we'll just follow that. And we're gonna take out the center part too, just so that we have a nice vent hole in the center. And what we're left with, ideally, is a little covering that will fit perfectly in our pot. It'll keep everything submerged below our level so it poaches nicely. We're gonna blanch off our Romanesco. Romanesco, also known as Roman broccoli, brocciolo, Roman broccoli, has a few different names. It's part of the brassica family and part of the cauliflower family. Has a really good flavor, but more importantly, is just absolutely visually striking. It has these little fun fractal kind of things going on that just absolutely mesmerize. Tastes great too. So we're gonna blanch ours off. We got some boiling water behind us ready to go. We're just gonna make nice little florets. And we're gonna do it the same way we broke down the cauliflower. Starting from the top, skip between the trees, break it apart, and then just follow the natural guiding lines as we trim the stem. All right, good to go. Blanch it off. We're gonna start with salting our blanch water. Not just salty like the ocean. Just going in. Won't take too long. You just see it get kind of a little bit of the muted green color, and then it gets vibrant green as it intensifies. So that's what we're looking for. Get that nice color change going on. You see a little bit of our color has become a little more vivid. You can go straight into our ice bath. The ice is gonna halt that cooking process, and it's gonna hold the integrity of the vegetable without overcooking it. Beautiful. All right, now we're gonna start with our brown butter. Butter is an emulsion. we have our butter, we're melting it down, and we're gonna brown up our dairy solids within it. So the word Beurre Noisette literally translates to hazelnut butter. And the reason why is both the color and the flavor of the brown dairy solids begin to take on a kind of a nutty characteristic. So in order for the dairy solids to brown, the butter first has to separate. And then as it separates, then those little dairy solids will have enough activity of the fat to basically let itself brown and get nice and toasty. So from here, we can see our butter has begun to separate. As it clarifies itself, we're gonna turn our heat down just a little bit. And now what we're looking for is around the rim of the pot. We are looking to see some browning. And that's how we know we're getting close. That, and we'll see a nice foamy pool right at the top. Yes. Now our emulsion's broken. And what we're looking for is we're looking for caramelization around the outside rim. And we're basically gonna take a ladle. We're gonna keep digging below the foam layer. And we're just gonna keep pouring until we see the sediment in our ladle start to brown like what we want. Move that butter around and we just keep checking. Because this is right where we want to be. Almost. Yeah. That's right, we want to see it. So from here, we're going to kill our heat. And we're going to transfer to another metal vessel that can cool quickly. See that? All that flavor. And all you're left with is that beautiful brown butter. I'm gonna let that cool. All right, so we have our cartouche. More importantly, all of our cauliflower is staying below our poach level. We're gonna monitor our heat just so we don't overboil. And we're just gonna let it go for about 15 to 20 minutes, just until our cauliflower is looking soft. Now we're gonna check our cauliflower, see how we're doing. Beautiful. So we know it's nice and moist. When a cooked little press, it's gonna fall to pieces on us. That's right where we want it. We're gonna strain this, and we're gonna bring it over to a RoboCoupe. So we have our puree ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and transfer to our RoboCoupe food processor, or a blender works just fine. We wanna make sure we save our cream mix in case we need any to smooth out any lumps. And we're processing this while it's warm, just to ensure you get a nice smooth product. All right. Pardon me. Earlier we chopped up some butter and then we just left it on a sheet tray at room temp. It'll be nice and soft. It's gonna blend perfectly into our lovely little puree here. So if you can take a look, we got a nice little puree, and you'll see how much smoother this is about to make it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mousseline our butter in. While it blends, just drop a few tablespoons in. So we're gonna transfer this to a small sauce pot and we're gonna hold it warm. So we have our scallops here. We've brined them for the last 28 minutes or so. What we did was we did a 3% by weight solution of water to salt, or about 2 cups water to 2 tablespoons salt. We've brought out the abductor muscle, so they're all clean and brined, they're ready to go. We're just gonna pat them dry really well. So over a wire rack, we are going to place some paper towels. This will just kind of help elevate and help wick off that extra moisture. And this will help ensure we get that nice golden, crispy edge-to-edge crust we're looking for. So pulling them all out, just pat them down. That brining will help maintain moisture and make them nice and plump. Now that we got them as dry as we can, good to be seared. One more time, season it. We're gonna flip them. And then we're gonna dry the other side right before we go in the pan. Dry as we can. And this will give us that nice, beautiful, crispy crust we want. Ready to go. Do about half a pan's worth. So what we're looking for here is browning around the rim. Want to make sure we get in good caramelization. There we go. We're just going to splash a little bit of butter in the pan. About 2 tablespoons. Beautiful. We're going to take our heat, we're going to reduce it just a little bit. And now we get this nice pool of beautifully flavored butter to finish out our scallops. Just a nice medium texture. We still want to feel it kind of tender in the center. But we don't want them rubbery and overcooked. Gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to heat up our Romanesco. And our brown butter's now saucy and we can work with it. Cool. So now to plate out. So we have our brown butter. We're gonna finish out our brown butter sauce. We have some toasted pine nuts. We're gonna kick some in. We have a balsamic plumped black currant. We soaked these for about 30 minutes before. And just regular balsamic vinegar. It's a dried black Zante currant. Just kick some in. And they're just gonna have this bright little acidity, nice little punch. And it's gonna tie it right back in with some sweetness. And we have some chopped curly parsley. And we're just gonna kick in about, 2 tablespoons just to kind of give it some vegetal brightness and help complete our little vinaigrette. So if you see here, we mix it together. Oh, it smells fantastic. And then finally, we are gonna finish our Romanesco with some fresh lemon. I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons. That's just going to bring some nice acidity to the plate and balance nicely against the fat of the butter. We are going to plate our scallops right against our puree. And we'll just do a fun amount. Finishing with our Romanesco, a couple of pieces here and there. Some visual texture to our plating. And then we're gonna finish with our lovely sauce right here. And we're just gonna kind of just drizzle and just wherever it kind of falls, give us some nice texture, some really nice flavor here. Just a little touch of micros just to break it up a little, give it some vegetal nature, and make it interesting to eat. And there we have it. We have scallops, Beurre Noisette, our cauliflower puree. Let's give it a taste. And that is why we do it. Till next time, bon appetit.